oh my god. Ugh. Don't worry. I put on enough ladies' feet sick I wouldn't sweat in the Gobi Desert. It's fine. I don't like a lot of things about the English language. Mostly, I don't really enjoy the phrases and expressions that we use. One thing that I really hate is it's not about the action, it's about the principle. And the reason that I hate that so much is because whenever somebody says it's not about the action, it's about the principle, they do an immediately irrational action. And it really bothers me because it's very prevalent in dads. And I don't know what it is about dads who just lost all sense of self-respect. They have belt clips and cargo short combos, they don't care. And they basically just do these ridiculous things out of a point of principle. And I think everyone has this dad story where if you're somewhere like, I don't know, a grocery store, just having a nice family outing, buying miscellaneous items for dinner this evening, and you're at the checkout, and your father tries to get a coupon to a cashier, and it's not registering through, and it's like, oh, it's expired, and my dad's like, no, it's not, and my cashier is like, yeah, it is. Okay, and so my dad is like, fine, I will take my business elsewhere, he says to the 19-year-old cashier who's clearly high. And it's just awful, because then we have to go somewhere else that's 10 kilometers further and twice as expensive. Basically, what they want to get to show their kids is they want to believe that it's not about the principle, it's the action, means be assertive and stick to your guns in the face of adversity. But what it really means is basically, I'm willing to compromise the well-being and happiness of my wife and children because I didn't save 77 cents on that warm feta spinach artichoke dip that I love so much. I will never shop there again. The worst part about it too, in my mind, is because when people say it's not about the action, it's about the principle, they basically give themselves credence to be a dick on purpose, and that's not what it means, okay? If somebody comes up to you and is like, listen to me, okay? There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna try and walk all over you in this life, and you're gonna stick to your guns, all right? It's not about the actions that I'm about to do, it's about the principle behind those actions. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know why you need to set this guy's car on fire. Like, that seems like a far too ridiculous of an action. It's like, he said my car was for flamers, okay? Well, whose car is flaming now, Derek? Yours is, because I fucking set it on fire, okay? I'm sick of this shit. But, you know. I just graduated school in April.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Freeholder!
My poli-sci journalism degree is really helping me out on my part-time job at the wine rack. It's been okay so far because I did pretty well in school. I wasn't good when I was younger. Like when I was in elementary school, I was actually a really dumb kid. And it was reflective in my marks, but also reflective in the compliments that my teachers would try to give me during parent-teacher conferences. I remember being in the 4th grade, sitting in between my two parents, who both have master's degrees, and my teacher said to them with a complete straight face, yeah, your son has really progressed very nicely in the development of his gross motor skills. There's 3 things that I have with that. The first one is I'm really interested in how long it took my teacher to reach for any sort of compliment that they could have given me. To be just like, oh, how am I gonna give a compliment? This kid is so shitty. Okay. And then with a straight face, looked at both of my parents and they're like, so you know the concept of just walking? Like, your son, like, kills it. Like, when he puts, like, one foot in front of the other, he takes his immediate back foot and sweeps it adjacent to his front feet, like, no problem. Like, I mean, he's an 8-year-old, but he walks with the confidence and vigor of that a 17-year-old man. It's really unbelievable. Second of all, I really don't like that they said gross motor skills. I feel like fine motor skills would have been more appropriate because I think those are harder. Just like the ability to write or like blink correctly. There's people who can't blink, they just do a double wink. They're like, it's like, Jesus, okay. Finally, the last thing is she said I progressed nicely in my motor skills. This parent-teacher conference took place in mid-October. I've known this teacher for 6 weeks. How bad were my gross motor skills in September? Was I going to like raise my hand for a question? It's like, I know, it's just... I know the answer, please just like call on me right now, please. Just like, Chris, what are you doing? Are you having like a stroke or extreme muscle spasms? Like, no, I'm clearly raising my hand in the air. And she looked at me as like, Chris, just tell me what way is up? What do you think up is? No, that's wrong, that's down, that's the opposite of it. It needs to be this, okay? It's just that. God, I hate you so much. I'll leave you with this. I left my parents' house like 3 weeks ago, and the one thing I miss is cable. I really didn't think I missed cable this much. I really like the Food Network, and I don't get it anymore. And the reason that I like the Food Network so much is because, first of all, everything looks delicious. But the big reason with me is that it brought out basically the worst version of myself. I don't know if anybody else kind of watches something like Top Chef, and then you immediately start to like shit on all the culinary people who've worked tirelessly their entire life to be on this show, and you just ruin their day by like making comments while you're watching Top Chef, and you're like, oh my god, Benjamin, you're not putting truffle oil on your Chilean sea bass. I didn't realize that you were raised in a fucking barn, you loser. Oh my god, Brenda, your raspberry vinaigrette is all over the place. I guess it goes well with the poor presentation of your lampshade. You know what I'm eating when I'm saying this shit? I'm eating overcooked Hot Pockets and like shoving it in my mouth. Like, you know what you have to do to overcook Hot Pockets is read the instructions incorrectly. I'm looking at the box being like, well, it says 5 minutes, but I think I'm just gonna put it in for 7. And then I like close it, open it, start eating it. It's like, oh, the cheese was burnt. They were right. Like, Lean Cuisine really knows when they're supposed to be finished. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.